Is doing less the secret to doing more? Yes, and I know it sounds backwards, because we've all been taught that more effort is always the answer. But today, I want to show you how doing less might actually be the thing that helps you get better results. And yes, science backs this up. Hi, I'm Jana. I'm a certified coach that helps high achievers like you move from survival mode into intentional, energized living by rewiring your patterns and retraining your self-talk. We live under constant pressure to do more, be more, achieve more, and we can't keep up. We fall into that familiar cycle of feeling like we're not doing enough. For many of us, that's how burnout begins. At least that's part of my story. So my own recovery didn't start by trying harder. It started when I let myself do the bare minimum. Because that was all I had. That was all I could do at that time. And surprisingly, that was also the first thing that actually worked and helped a little. If you're feeling depleted, try starting there. Because you cannot recharge with the constant guilt that you are not doing enough. That's why starting with setting our expectations more reasonably can be the first step from the burnout cycle. But even if you are not burned out, you can experiment with a 70% day where you intentionally aim for less effort. And here's why that works. So first, performance doesn't peak at 100%. There's a well-known psychology principle called the Yerkes Dodson Law, which shows that we function best at moderate levels of stress and effort. Not maximum, moderate. And this means that more pressure actually makes us perform worse. The second reason is that your brain works in cycles. Every 90 minutes to 2 hours, your energy and focus naturally dip. Pushing through those dips leads to more mistakes, slower thinking, and exhaustion. And that's why resting, even for a few minutes, actually resets your brain. Another reason is that creativity and clarity need space. I'm sure you know it. Your best ideas don't come when you're trying your hardest. They come when your mind relaxes. When you're walking, when you're showering, when you're just daydreaming. This is the moment when your magical, great ideas appear. Doing less actually activates the part of your brain that is responsible for insights. You might have heard this already, but consistency beats intensity. Research shows that operating at 70 to 80% allows you to stay consistent over the long term. And maximum effort often leads to maximum burnout. Moderate effort leads to sustainable results. And finally, recovery is where the growth happens. Your brain and body build strength, clarity, and resilience when they rest. Not when they're overloaded, when they rest. So again, doing less doesn't mean that you are lazy. You're simply working with your biology instead of against it. You can try this as an experiment so you can gather real data. Most of us have a belief that if we don't give at least 100%, everything collapses. But when you actually try giving less, you begin to see that things still work. Emails still get answered, projects still move forward, and people still trust you. The second side outcome might be that you develop tolerance for imperfection. High achievers often rely on over-effort as a safety blanket. We want to keep the control. Doing less teaches you to release that tight grip and see that your worth isn't measured by your output. Another thing is connected with what I personally went through and mentioned in the beginning. You interrupt the burnout cycle once you start trying to do less. Your nervous system wasn't designed for constant intensity. So shifting from 100% to, let's say, 80 gives your mind and body space to recalibrate, which actually improves your long-term capacity. One of the biggest benefits is that you create this space where you can reconnect with yourself. When you step wide-knuckling through life, you create space to feel again, to listen, to notice what you've been ignoring. And creativity comes back. Motivation comes back. And even joy comes back. Look, we've all tried the push harder strategy. We've tried solving our problems with more effort, more discipline, more pressure. But tell me, has that really worked? Pushing harder very rarely leads to sustainable change. The life you're dreaming about, the one that feels light, the one that feels spacious and intentional, it's probably not behind a door that only opens when you've tried hard enough. It might be waiting for you in the opposite direction, when you release some of the pressure. And I'm not suggesting you stop caring or give up on your goals. I'm simply inviting you to release the pressure to always operate at maximum capacity. Because the pressure itself is often what keeps you stuck. It might be the very thing holding you back. So try giving yourself some breathing room. Give yourself permission to do a little less. Try experiencing a version of your life where success doesn't require constant intensity. You might be surprised by how much more becomes possible when you finally allow yourself to do less. Thank you for watching this video. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'm sure you enjoy this one next, where I cover why discipline isn't always the answer.